interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land, so sit tight and bend an ear.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Manga Monday Show. My name is Edgar and I'm joined by my co-host,
Ben,
Ben.
the co-host, the one and only Ben.
Happy Monday, Ben.
Happy Monday, Edgar. It's
How you
a good
doing?
Monday. I'm good. I'm good. It's getting a little bit hotter.
I hate that.
You hate it?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the, I'm already done with the heat.
Yeah. If you've never lived in Texas before, which I assume a lot of you haven't, Texas goes straight from 50 weather to 90-degree weather, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah, spring, quote unquote, is really a week and then
Yeah,
it
there's
turns
no
into
spring.
Yeah,
It just happens.
it,
Yeah. So that was pretty not great, but other than that, I think things are going pretty good. I had a big audition this week.
huge audition. I got psyched for it when you told me about it.
I did, but I you know, when you audition for stuff like that, you just gotta let it go, let the universe
Yeah.
do it, you know. And I you know, a lot of times I get very anxious after I send auditions, but now I've just gone to the point, and I'm at a point in my acting career where I'm just kind of like, you know, like a no's a no and a yes is a yes. And you gotta hold on tightly and let go lightly.
Yeah, that's a
as you wanna
given. That's got a given for acting in general, or
Yeah.
like especially in the entertainment business. It's a really doggy dog world out there. So you just gotta learn how to take your hits. So,
Yeah. And
but
also, I'm trying to get into like the hardest industry in the acting
Yeah.
industry. So, but once you're in. But it's taken me a while to get there.
yeah,
So.
just the fact that you got this audition was like absolutely.
Yeah, I
big.
was so thankful. I got it, and I was like, oh yes. I was like, I'm just happy. When I was recording it, and I worked on it for like 5 hours for like a 30-second audition.
Yeah,
I was just so happy that I got it. I was like, this is awesome.
and you didn't have
Yeah.
you don't even have an agent yet,
No, I
which
don't.
is super
I don't.
impressive.
I don't.
I
So
don't
if
know.
any agent is listening out there, give me a call, baby.
Hit him up.
Give me a call.
Please.
Please, I need help. Yeah. Well, let's move on to our main topic this week.
Yes.
We thought that these next 2 weeks should be Attack on Titan filled.
Yeah.
So this is week 1 of Attack on Titan. 2 weeks. What is there? Fortnite? No. That's one.
That's a
week.
game.
That's a game. That is a game. What's wrong with me? Anyway, so
Bye week.
Yeah. So next week we're going to talk about the reviews and talk about each episode and go on the arcs and storytelling. Because if you've been listening to this podcast the past 4 weeks, you might not have known. Me and Edgar we are pure storytellers, and that's
Yeah.
what we do. You know. So we'll talk about that next week. But this week we just wanted to talk about the season finale. We wanted to talk about Mappa
Yeah.
because you know, I'm not angry at them. I'm just disappointed.
No, I
you
just
know?
want to grab somebody by the tie and shake them very viciously.
The eye.
The tie.
Oh, the tie. I thought you
No.
were talking about the eye.
No, they're tie.
Yeah,
Like, listen,
yeah.
you.
If you want to grab somebody by the eyes, the director of Attack on Titan has some pretty baggy eyes.
No.
So you
no.
could probably grab them.
I wouldn't mess with that man. He deserves
you know,
a
he
big
deserves
rest.
praise, bro.
Jesus. Poor man.
But yeah, so Edgar, we both agree that Attack on Titan is one of the best shows to ever
Period.
release. Period.
Yeah.
And we completely concur and agree with that. So Edgar, you haven't read the manga. I caught up 2 nights ago.
You just did?
2 nights ago. So I won't talk about.
Man, don't blame me, man, because
Yeah.
they're really.
I read it and I went nope, and I read it. But yeah, what did you think about the season finale? You know, where do you think it left off? All that stuff.
Well, we'll talk about on how they're handling this, but in terms of like the show and like what happened, the story and the episodes, I thought were absolutely amazing. I think it has probably 2 of the best. At least this half, or not this part of the season, had 2 of the best episodes, probably 3, in the entire show.
Yeah.
And probably in episodes of all anime to come. but this is like absolutely like this show just does such a good job at like doing plot twists. I mean, I hate to say that this show is its only good thing is plot twists. I mean, it isn't. It just sets up things so well,
Yeah.
and it rewards you for like having this information. And whenever it happens, it's like I've been thinking about that for the past like 5 months, and I can't believe I'm
Right.
seeing it on screen. So it's just amazing to see. And ever since they announced that they're gonna do this final season, I've just been so hyped. And this is like the first time that I felt like, as a giant anime community, this has been like a big thing. Like it's Sunday, it's time.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan's here. Like we're all like watching this and experiencing this together. It felt huge. Like it's broken numbers. That's like in 2021, it was the biggest show in America. Like, including like other shows that weren't anime in America. So that was like huge, and like it was doing numbers. It felt big, and it didn't feel like we were just like watching like an anime. It felt like we were all like going to an MCU movie. Like it was worldwide. Everybody knew about it. Like a lot of people knew about it, and it was like an experience that I couldn't describe. And I've been waiting for like a long time because I love this show. Probably number one show so far, still in my book at least. I mean, probably not in rating, probably second in rating, but like first, my favorite in general.
Yeah.
I just absolutely, loved it. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought every episode this season was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the manga up until the rumbling started. So there were a lot of things that I knew because I was telling Edgar, I told Edgar I started reading the manga after I binged it last year. And I was like, oh my God, Edgar, have you read the manga? And he was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I don't blame you. Like I realized how much fire I put you on. I felt like you betrayed me. But like, this is like one of the few.
I thought you read the manga.
I know.
Because you liked it. So I just assumed.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't spoil me or anything. It's just that this is like one of the only anime that I've watched that I have been intrigued to read the manga. A lot of shows I love, but I don't read the manga. But some of them are just way too good, like Vinland Saga, where like I have to read it immediately after. But this one was like special to where I felt like I had to wait. I just had to I had to experience it. I had to really see. I had to hear it. I had to feel it. You know what I mean? Not saying that manga can't do those things, but like there's certain. I put this thing up at such a pedestal that I would only watch it and only experience it in this format. And when I heard that Ben read it, I was like, no, Ben, wait, you're ruining it. And but I don't blame you, man. Like I mean, sometimes you just do that. Like, oh, I'm on to the manga now because I can't wait. Because you caught up, you watched season 3. And,
I did.
And had season 4 come out yet when you started reading the manga or not?
Yes, so season 4 came out. I remember the last episode I watched was when Porco was like, it's the devils. It's like, don't they know that we're Titans? It's the devils. They're the devils of paradise. And then Levi slowly pans in on the camera, and then my favorite OST where it's like dum 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 dum. And I was like, I have to read the manga, and I binged the manga all night. And then I got to the rumbling, and I was like, dude, Edgar, let's talk about this manga. And you were like, nope. And I was like, oh my God. Sadly, I before I read the manga, I had been spoiled on it because it's just like if you're in those Reddit forums, it's just impossible.
Yeah, even you could like not pay attention to a manga or anime like in general, like not care about it at all, but somehow you'll run into a meme or something that spoils it.
Like you know one of the biggest moments in One Piece.
Yeah.
Like you told me even before, and I knew it happened, but not to that extent. But yeah,
it just happens. Spoilers just everywhere, and I don't blame people for switching to mangas for that reason. Like I can't I don't. Sometimes it absolutely ruins their experience. So like the best way to do it is to take in the experience for yourself. Like I'm just gonna read it now because I don't want to have that ruined for me. So I don't blame people for doing that for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. But I knew a lot of things were going to get memed. I knew a lot of as soon as I read Eren, I told Edgar in Attack on Titan, there is one big plot twist, and the one big plot twist is Eren Yeager is the antagonist.
Yeah.
And he is, when he stares down his father, that's the moment I'm talking about. That's the moment I was talking about. about how like that moment it's memed to eternity and will continue to be memed to eternity, you know, because it's so relatable. Like we saw, you know, Will Smith last week, like his old self talking to him, like get up.
And I saw the
like,
Aaron.
Are you gonna take that?
And I saw the Aaron version, like slap him. Yeah, slap him. Will. I'm
Exactly.
like, I can't believe it just reached this height.
Exactly. And there is one big moment that happened in this episode. I could have sworn, maybe I was wrong, and I haven't done my research, but I could have sworn that the moment Aaron says, "What am I to you?" to Mikasa, for me, that's one of the biggest parts of the story, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I read it,
He
in the
acknowledges
manga,
her feelings. How could it not?
Exactly.
He literally.
And I was reading it and I was like, this is the moment Eren Yeager, because I think Eren is looking for a reason to be like,
That's what I was thinking.
Hold me back.
Like
pull me back.
It was like his lifeboat. Like this is like the last chance. Like
exactly. And when she says, and when she family zones him, like he's like, well, genocide it is, you know?
Oh well.
Yeah.
Off to work.
Yeah, exactly. But I could have sworn that flashback happened immediately after the rumbling in the manga.
I heard. Yeah, I heard that they switched around some things, or sometimes they just leave out like a quick shot. But I heard that flashback to like their first time on Marley, the people from Parodies, it was supposed to come before, or no, it was supposed to come right after the rumbling, but instead they held it for this recent episode, the last one.
And who knows? Maybe we're wrong, but I was just thinking that I could have sworn that was the case because I remember that being the last thing I read.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right. I heard people talking on forums and on comments like,
because I specifically because the anime this weekend, like I feel like it didn't hit it enough, you know? Because usually Attack on Titan is really good, the anime, about hitting its moments, but I feel like that moment was so like I feel like it was a whole page in the manga, and I remember Mikasa getting that and then hearing that and then looking up back from the flashback and seeing Eren in his, you know.
Maybe it was the formatting, the way they structured this story. Like they took that part and moved it where they did in the anime. Maybe that wasn't the right moment, or maybe because of the way it was put out in this last episode. Yeah. Maybe it didn't hit as much as it did apparently right after the rumbling, the activation. Maybe it affected you more after like
I like this episode, you know. You know, and it might have been better if I didn't read the manga and that part and then I read this part. But like it was just so nice because it's the last time we're seeing these people happy, and it'll probably be the last time ever.
Jesus.
But I don't know. I do have to say there is a difference between that final credit scene, right? I slapped the table.
Okay.
The final credit scene when it says "to be continued," right? It's okay to make it angry, but or make you be like, no, don't end. But like every other on season 4, even the first part finale, I was like, no, another half year. But this one made me angry.
Because here's the thing. There's like been a lot of build up for this, like,
right.
And I was mad at this situation, but I was also mad at the expectations that people had, because let's take a step back. Anime films, like we discussed before on our YouTube video, they were just filler. Yeah. It wasn't a big thing. I can only name 2 big movies before Demon Slayer that were canon. Yeah. Cowboy Bebop has a canon movie, does it not?
Yes, it does.
You're watching it. That has a canon film, and I'm pretty sure the Neon Genesis Evangelion that has several canon films. But I feel like in terms of like popularity, it didn't reach like this level to have like, oh look, big series has a canon film. So it felt like
last week we were like sure it was gonna be a film.
Yeah,
know?
And I'm thinking like that because of the rise. I say rise, but like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen doing it, that people were thinking like, oh, it's gonna be a film, because like it would make sense. They make money, and there's not that many like you could fit it in a film. People are like, you could fit it in a film, but like definitely. I'm pretty sure Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, if those films were never made, people wouldn't have this idea of having a film, because in their idea it made sense to have a film. But in
Well, also, I've never seen an anime split into 3 parts before.
That
you know, and as long as this,
not that it
you
had
know?
to. I think it could have done it. They could have done it in. They could have season 4, 22-ish episodes. They end at the rumbling, and season 5, actual final season, relatively 12 episodes or less or more, depending on how. I don't know how exactly, but I did some math, and it matched out. It made sense. They could have done that, but them doing this is. I wouldn't say they're dragging because they're not putting filler in there. They're not. The pacing isn't slow. Everything you see is in the manga, at least to my knowledge. So they're not dragging it out, but they're, as you said, they're milking it in terms of like numbers of like. Because
they're doing a chapter per episode.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel
it
like
is
a drag.
No, and people are saying that it is. I mean, no, they're stretching this out in terms of like dividing the episodes up like that, but they're not the episodes themselves. But people, what was my point? I don't see how they can make more money by by stretching them out, like because it's not like a movie. Like, oh, let's make this into 3 movies that way because you buy tickets and like that's how you make money. But it's hard to determine. Obviously, views mean more money, but I don't exactly. I really can't say how the math works in that. How shows like this get made. Obviously, more people subscribe and look at streaming services whenever big shows like this come up. I know people who only got Crunchyroll because of Attack on Titan and because of My Hero Academia. Yeah. So, I don't know. To call this dragging is a bit of a stretch. I just don't like the way they marketed it.
Yeah, Mappa's marketing, like most of the time, their marketing is pretty good. But this one is just like I just don't know, And like specifically, I understand it. If you look at it as a company, I understand nothing sells bigger hotcakes than a final season. Yeah. Right? You have the word final season, even Game of Thrones, Yeah. Its final season only had 6 episodes, but it broke like viewership records, And I understand it, but I just thought that it would have been more plausible for them to do a movie and just finish it off here because that would have been the final season, But
I can see that.
But
logic.
this is 2 seasons, like every other Attack on Titan episode, like only goes 24. Like the 3rd season or the 2nd season, I think is only 12 episodes.
Yeah, it is.
So.
I don't think they know what the word "final" means.
Yeah,
and then whoever the execs
that
are.
word that you're using,
they look in the dictionary. Oh, that's what it means. I thought it meant 3. I thought it meant 3 parts. My bad, guys.
Oh, whoopsie,
whoopsie doopsie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I understand that they're trying to take their time with it and they're trying to do it justice.
Yeah, like I keep saying it again. This is like my biggest argument against this whole marketing strategy because. I don't want to say Mappa did this. I don't know who Kodansha maybe because they're the one because I'm pretty sure Mappa animates and then there's maybe their executives or maybe
it is Kodansha. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whoever the executive. It's definitely not the animators. It's not the director of the anime. No. Like all those people, they're working their hardest. It's not them, but whoever the producers or executives are, the higher ups, the people who don't actually deal with making the show,
the people who make all the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how they handled this, I'm pretty sure. I completely lost it. But what I'm mad about is how they sold this as a final season, and I wouldn't have cared if they had. I wouldn't mind waiting so much if it meant better animation. It's just don't do it like this. I would rather have season 3 end. Wait, how long was it? Like 2.5 or 1.5 years from season 3 part 2 to season 1 part 1, season 4 part 1. I wouldn't mind waiting 5 years after that if it meant getting it as a one package, right? Or like getting it as a package and then a movie. But like they rushed it because apparently, from what I've heard, they wanted it to be somewhat relatively near the ending of the manga because the manga ended along relatively close to the first part of season 4 last year,
right?
And I remember, and for some reason, I thought as well, oh, they're going to end at the same time. Yeah. Great idea. Like, because definitely you cannot get spoiled that way. I don't know. I had no context of what the story was going to be. I didn't know there was that much left to adapt in my mind.
I forgot that you brought up that idea. That feels like years ago now. Yeah. When the manga ended, and you were like, "It's going to end at the same time." No.
Yeah. No, bro.
No, bro.
Not even close. And and gotta help those people who thought that it was gonna end this. I wouldn't have mind waiting longer if it meant getting it like this, because like it feels cheap. I feel cheated.
Yeah.
And I might be exaggerating because people are still excited. Like, yeah, we get to experience the show again. Like, why y'all complaining? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are y'all complaining when we're gonna get more Attack on Titan? Yeah, we're getting more, but look at I always look at it this way. They're still getting overworked. The director is getting overworked.
Yeah.
The animation, there's only been 2 moments in this entire of season 4, including both parts, that I've been impressed.
And
mildly impressed. I'm being very generous. Not to say that it's awful animation. There's a lot of shoddy moments, but mildly impressed to say the least.
Yeah. It wasn't like where every episode in part 1 was like, oh, like every there was like a moment, I would say, in every episode, maybe even 2, where you were just pretty amazed, like especially with the attack on Marley. You know, that was really good. But and I wanted to touch on what you're talking about. Like, it would be more forgivable if you didn't realize what MAPPA were putting their workers through.
Yeah.
Because every time a new anime gets denounced for MAPPA, I'm just like, oh my. And I was like, okay, when Attack on Titan finishes, then maybe they could do this. Maybe they could do Jujutsu Kaisen, Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise, so many others. Maybe they could do it when Attack on Titan is finished and these were all released. But 2023 for MAPPA now is looking like an impossible task.
Isn't Hell's Paradise coming out this year?
I have no idea.
I know Chainsaw Man is coming out.
Oh
in
my
fall.
god! And they're doing Chainsaw Man.
That
Woo!
I know, baby. And Jujutsu Kaisen's season 2 next year.
Yep.
It's
Vinland Saga this year. Yep.
It's hard to. Man, we sound like a bunch of pretentious people, like saying,
we do.
like, "Oh, we thought it'd be like this. What happened to Wit?"
You have to understand. We're really big fans of the series. We love everything. We love the story. But there are times where we have to put our foot down and be a little bit more critical.
Yeah.
And most of these. Me and Edgar are not critical people, especially when it comes to storytellers,
we are
actors.
Very forgiving in some moments.
Oh yeah, definitely. But when we really, put our foot down is when it comes to corporations.
Yeah.
And especially with MAPPA, because they have not been, the best.
It's just I'm not always looking at the negatives. I'm just looking at the cost of all this, like what this really means, like for this anime. And when I was coming into it, when I heard that MAPPA was adapting season 4, I was like, great. Never really heard of them, but I started hearing, oh, check out Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh man, the animation was really amazing, and I checked it out. Like, wow, this is really good. It will be adapted really well. And what it felt like when I started getting these episodes, I didn't say like, wow, that's bad. I just felt like I was living in a really big rich mansion and somebody got like a really nice big meal plate right next to me, and then I get like a In-N-Out hamburger. I like In-N-Out, but this guy's getting like all the, why can't I get that? You know what I mean? Again, I sound really stuck up when I say that, but that's basically what happened. Like, it's still relatively good. It's just like, it's not, we didn't get the same thing. And you're thinking, well, they just didn't have enough time. Well, like, they could have had enough time if they just pushed it back.
Yeah.
I don't care. I could wait 10 years if we just get a good animation. It's just that they had to do it here.
It's just, the history of animating Attack on Titan is just, it sounds like a nightmare. Like, even with the Wit stuff, with how long they took.
Yeah.
It was like Star Wars in the 80s, like how long everybody had to wait. And of course, I'm a lucky guy because I joined the Attack on Titan hype train late.
Yeah, I was like that with Game of Thrones. Like, I can't imagine having to wait all that time for like the between times it took for Game of Thrones.
I would rather take the Attack on Titan. Can we switch? Yeah. Because when Jon Snow died, I was like, excuse me. I threw a fit. Like,
how long was it? The wait between when Jon Snow died?
I think that was a year. I think that was only a year. But still, when your favorite character dies, and you're like, are you kidding me? And of course, this was season 5 already started showing cracks in like storytelling wise. Attack on Titan's different. It
hits different.
It hits different.
Yeah, but I got to binge through Game of Thrones, and then you binged through this, so It's
Yeah.
just
But I think I wouldn't have been so cold to the ending if we saw, if we saw some payoff, because what we see is we see Aaron's backstory, right? In this whole thing, which Attack on Titan is very well known for. It's very well known for being like, these guys are the bad guys, these are the good guys, and then one chapter it makes it all gray and all meddled and all messed up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, I just got the back.
Yeah, who am I supposed to side with?
Exactly.
Like,
I just got the backstory for the bad guy, and now I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But he's killing and slaughtering, but you understand why he's killing and slaughtering because this world's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, I think it would have been a more satisfying conclusion to this part if we saw him destroy Marley.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if he's going to destroy Marley.
But they say that
But he's like
calculation-wise,
stomping on
yeah,
it,
he's literally on the doorstep. He's literally about to step on his
Yeah.
houses. He's about to Lego stomp like a 5-year-old would on.
Yeah,
toys.
exactly. And I'm just like, I feel like if we would have saw him do that and then maybe gotten the reaction from from all of his friends, like, oh my god, he's serious about this, and then that was the end, I think maybe I would have felt a little bit less cold to it.
I just felt cold because like I knew what they were doing, and I knew they were going to do this. They were just going to stretch. I say stretch in terms of like stretching out the time between the series, not having it end already or continue like this. I knew they were going to stretch it, and I was like,
Do you? I know you haven't read the manga, but I've been seeing a lot of people say that there is going to be a movie.
Still?
And it's going to be like the last 2 chapters of the
Wait,
series.
So you're saying that there's a chance that they're still going to do a part 3
and the movie in 2024. Could you imagine?
Oh man,
I could now. I could imagine
the paragraphs I will post on. Oh my god, I like to say that there's no way, but I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna give them the satisfaction of that. Why? And to those of you wondering, I'm probably gonna read the manga because this is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the story's good and it's great, but like this is like absolutely like I have patience. It's just like if I knew that again, I would have waited and not read the manga like a lot longer time if we didn't get it like last year and then we split it up and then we get it next year as well. So like I just feel like wrong. Like I felt like I wasn't, I was so hyped when season 4 part 1 came out. I was like, this is it. It's ending. It's over. We're gonna experience the end. This is happening. We're gonna see this happen. We're gonna see that happen. And then it just doesn't. I mean, it does, but at the same time, it's over, but it's not part 3. Not really. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But when I feel cheated.
About the I was right about the flashback stuff, but the flashback stuff, they also in this chapter where it happens, they start off with him talking to Historia. So that scene where he's talking to Historia is in it and onward. So the scene with Zeke, the scene where he's like cutting off his leg and stabbing his eyeball out.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
People were voting like, what would you rather do? Gouge out your eye or cut off your leg?
I'd have to cut off my leg. I could not
really?
gouge out my eye, dude.
But like you can eye patch.
You
can
eye
patch it.
But gouging out, like I still have problems putting contacts in.
That is true, but like you have to. The leg is thick. I mean, it's a big part, and you have to keep going.
But depth perception.
I don't know, man. I'd rather take an eye patch over a chopped off leg any day.
Yeah, I would probably, like, if it came to it, I would.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm still gonna watch it. Obviously, if I read the manga, which I most likely will now, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna read it, and then we'll talk about.
I'm reading the chapter right now. And even the chapter has a better conclusion. And the next chapter was going to come out a month later.
Is it? I mean, they're the same. I'm assuming they're the same panels. Just that they're just structured differently, right?
Some of them are different. So this one is all about connecting Aaron's story, the chapter Aaron's story, to this moment, to when he starts starting genocide, right?
Yeah.
So it starts with him
because
seeing...
Mikasa asked, like, I wonder if he was always like this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I completely
that's
forgot
what
about
I'm pretty
that.
sure that's what I can imagine it now. That's how the manga goes. Like the rumbling happens, they see Eren go away.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was always like this, because that's what happens, right?
Yeah, if you're wondering and you want to read it and you don't want to really get spoiled, there's like one or two things that they might add in the next part, but it's not really that big. So what happens is the beginning of this is it starts with the heroes realizing that they're all gonna die, and then it starts with Eren at the tree from the beginning of the episode and him kissing Historia, and it goes back to him talking to Flock, talking to who's the one girl who loves Zeke?
Oh, I was gonna say Ymir. No, not Ymir. Yelena.
Yelena, yeah. And then she talks to Historia, then he talks to Zeke, and then he talks to then he talks to his eyeball with a bullet. But they do, in all fairness to them, they do have a panel where they have that flashback, but this flashback happens way before.
So yeah,
during
we've
the
already
rumbling.
seen the Marley stuff.
And so of course we see the part where he dives under and he burns their flesh off. Awesome scene, by the way.
Yeah,
Just awesome. And it rebuilds that these are, isn't Attack on Titan awesome?
Yeah.
That the beginning of the series they were like, look at this thing. It's huge, and it's the main villain of the series. And then at the end, it's like, just kidding. There are thousands of them, and they all burn the exact same way, and they're coming to kill you.
Also, Eren is the villain.
Yeah.
It's a big old switcheroo.
Isn't that great? Just if you want to up the stakes, take the main villain and then make thousands of
times
them.
1,000.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a bad writing advice. So like, oh yeah, you're well-written villain, just like times 1,000
Yeah.
him.
Don't
Like,
do that. This is a very specific case, but
yeah. But I think my favorite moment from those last few minutes was like when you see the fleet and there's like the World Alliance, like, and that you see like they fire, and it's kind of, I don't think it's silence, but you can see like all the bullets fly. And that was like one of the cool moments.
Sick.
That was
sick.
The animation was impressive in that moment. But
I was surprised when some of them were getting chopped down by those bullets.
yeah, but I knew it wasn't going to be enough because there's like literally thousands of them.
I forgot that they swam. I thought that they would be walking across.
I thought they were going to be walking,
the
but
ocean floor.
from what we saw, they were using steam to propel the Titans.
That is so. I didn't even think of that.
Because that's why
because
the steam would be coming out of the water and it burned everyone.
Wow. But so this ends. So obviously you get the metal. Like
I saw that
Attack
was one of the
Titan.
things I got spoiled on. It's the Attack Titan panel.
Damn,
But
look at that, bro.
Do you know the meme I'm talking about? It's the Ratio Titan.
Oh yeah, it's the Ratio Titan.
Because I got that was
You
one
saw
thing I
that.
got spoiled
Yeah.
of. I'm like, oh, is that Eren? I'm like,
But
crap.
then the end of it, and I think this would have been a better conclusion, is him watching his mom get eaten, and then he says, "I'm gonna destroy them all, every last one of those animals that's on."
I
this
think
earth."
that's I think that's why it didn't hit as much because I
Yeah.
don't think you hear him say, "I'm gonna destroy them" on the moment it makes that face.
Yeah.
And the manga, and this is what I mean by you could read that. Yeah, man, that is so good.
That's so good. Isayama, he has become just an absolute fantastic artist. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
Like especially reading his first chapters.
it's super.
Yeah.
You see his progression, and this is like one of
Yeah.
those moments. So like, this is one of those moments where like if we had got more time, we would have gotten something
Yeah.
truly amazing. Like
I just think this is a better conclusion to a season part. People didn't even have to wait this long for this. They had to wait a month. We have to wait a year.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's like a lot of things why, and it's not the animation. Like when I say animation, it's just like not. It just doesn't hit. It's just certain. It's not. Sometimes like an animation it simply does its job, but like a good animation can simply amplify great moments to even better moments.
Yeah.
And Demon Slayer is a great example of that. So if we had gotten just like a little bit better animation, or if they just kind of did it differently and didn't structure it this way, it would have like hit like just way more differently. Because I'm like looking at these panels now, and I'm like picturing it in my head, and those are some of the benefits you can get from from reading the manga. It just leaves up to your imagination to like format it and then read it in a certain way that amplifies its dynamic that way.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And I'm just like, just the parallels between him saying he's going to kill every Titan and now he's going to kill all those animals. I'm sure we'll talk about this next week. But with Aaron's arc is he does things. He's very much a down, like a negative character arc. Because negative character arcs go, oh, we're with you. Kill all of them. Kill them. Until they do something like Walter White, like Sweeney Todd, where they do something obscene and you're like, wow, I can't. Have I been cheering for this the entire time?
That was something I wanted to bring up on debating on whether he was still the protagonist and antagonist. Yeah. He's a villain, at least questionable from what we know so far. He's still a villain, or he's a villain now. Yeah. But protagonist could, to put it in terms, it's the person that we follow through the story, the main character of the story. Is Aaron still he's a villain now, but he's still the protagonist.
But we don't follow him, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of him to the point where like it doesn't feel like he's still main character, but he's no longer like the center focal point of the story.
It's fascinating because technically, if we're talking about technical terms, the Greeks came up with the word protagonist, and the protagonist means proto, which is one, which means so technically he is still the protagonist because he is the first character that we followed through the story. Yeah. So technically he is, but
he's also the antagonist to our group now. Like he's the main goal now is to stop Aaron and to stop the rumbling. So in a sense, he's their antagonist. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's gray now, and there's no longer a main antagonist regarding the entire story now.
Because as much as you're like genocide is terrible, if you lived in this world, and I'm not saying that our world doesn't have the semblances of this, it does, especially during the mid-90s, it does. But, like, this is a society that's just... and
we live in a society.
We live... but, like, the biggest country in the world is a military dictatorship, which is the worst kind of government you can have. And we don't want to get political, but
it's hard to do that when you're talking about Attack on Titan,
because it's all
we're not bringing it up out of thin air. It's it's in the material itself. So
it is, but it's just God, and the way the other countries want to treat Paradis as like a money factory.
Yeah,
like I was just like, wow,
like the Hizuru or like the I forgot how it's called, how they're called.
Like I'm just like, wow, every country is run by assholes.
Yeah, it's it's really unfortunate. It's just unfortunate in all situations. Like even the group, like our main group, when they realize that they're gonna stop Aaron, like we're probably screwing up our only chance of like 100% guarantee that no one will attack us.
Exactly, and this is this just goes to show that Isayama has done such a great job, because I am a pacifist. I am against any violence, any killing of all kind. But the fact that he made me go like, yeah, genocide might be the answer is like just crazy.
And to all of you is like, oh, that's clearly not the answer, guys. We're like, oh yeah, we get it.
Yes,
obviously, it's never, ever,
obviously,
is awful. But like, when you're following this character and in the situation they're in, and if everyone in their minds is like, I can see that.
Yeah,
it's not like you're agreeing to the idea. It's still an awful idea. It should never happen. But like, when you want these characters to survive, and you want Parody to be free, and you want Aaron to accomplish his dreams, that is not possible without this happening, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
unfortunately, they have to stop him because.
And there are some tags on that, like it has to happen this way. Like maybe he is basically like Aaron makes him the great antagonist. He knows the future. Yeah. He knows the outcome.
There's probably no way to stop this whatsoever.
Yeah. So maybe he's doing it because there is a brighter future. Maybe he's just doing it to do it. We don't know. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Do you? Let's before let's. I don't want to start wrapping it up, but let's start getting to the end of our point. I'm probably gonna read the manga.
Good. We might just make a month out of Attack on Titan.
Why not? Yeah, Attack on Titan month, baby.
Yeah, baby.
But
it's big enough.
Yeah. I'm not disappointed. Mm-hmm. I'm just disappointed by how it was handled.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the story. I love the characters.
Season 2, like every episode, especially when when it was Zeke and Aaron, top tier. Peak fiction.
Yeah,
That's
my favorite.
awesome.
Yeah, my favorite episode and moment. Yeah, Aaron's getting head shot off was like the biggest thing. Everything leading up to
Crazy.
that is
Yeah.
amazing, and then the all the moments that we see after is like absolutely like integral. Some of
Yeah.
the best. You can tell that a story is so great when there's no action. And that's like one of the easiest way to tell that it has great writing. There's no action needed. It's just discussions and arguments against each other
Yeah.
and information that was withheld that you've been wanting to know or that you didn't know was going to happen when it comes
And
to you. that-
Isayama's the best at that. He's
Yeah.
really good.
And it's
The,
just
the biggest question mark in all of anime is what's in the basement.
and
you
the
know?
fact that even when we know that and we still have
Yeah.
more questions, it's just to
It's
prove that
great.
he's just that great of a writer. And it's like,
Yeah.
and
Now, if only One Piece can answer some of those.
what is the
like,
One
I
Piece?
still don't know who Shanks is. Still don't know who the One Piece is.
What do you
Still
mean we
don't
don't
know
know
why. You know.
who Shanks is? I thought we already know who he is.
Uh,
Or is that context that I have no idea what it's about?
Yeah. Well, you know basically all there is to know about Shanks. You know the exact same stuff I know about Shanks.
But are they alluding him that there's more to him?
Well, there is some stuff, but yes, Shanks, like what Shanks has to play in the story is one of the biggest anime history.
Is he the One Piece?
No, he's not the One Piece.
Is he the final boss guarding the One Piece?
He might be. Maybe he is.
That'd be crazy. Did
Yeah.
I just spoil One Piece?
There is a lot of theories that Shanks is the main antagonist. I hope not, but because Shanks is one of my favorite characters. But yeah,
I don't know, man. To me, he's just the guy who reads newspapers all day. So
he do be reading newspapers though. He do be reading a lot.
I don't even. I've never seen him. From what I've read in the manga, he hasn't done that yet. But I just seen so many memes of him doing that. That's just like a thing that I know.
He just be reading newspapers all the time.
Yeah,
dude.
that's what I mean by like
Yeah.
spoilers. I'm probably gonna read the manga for Attack on Titan for that simple reason, because
Yeah.
like it's also people suck online, and I kind of can't wait anymore. And that
Yeah.
sounds like I'm giving up in a sense. Call
No.
it what you will,
I don't think so.
but we're also a manga podcast, and we want to talk about it. So it'd also be really interesting to
Yeah.
talk about the manga, and then when the anime comes out, talk about the comparisons, like the reactions and how it was
Yeah.
adapted. So that's probably what's going to happen in the end. And you'll probably get an episode for that soon, discussing the manga end.
Yeah, let's just make it Attack on Titan month. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why
we
not?
can milk this as much as they're
Yeah.
milking this show.
We usually have news. If you're new, we usually have news, and we talk about more. We talk about more broad stuff, and then at the end we talk about more specific stuff.
Something big happens, we'll still talk about
Yeah.
it. It's just
We'll-
for this
we'll
episode.
We'll go back to the news next week. But I think Attack on Titan month should be what we do.
Yeah, and then the last episode will be simping over Levi or something like that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Making
I'm
Levi
sure.
making jokes
Yeah,
about all the
reason
people.
why Levi is the cutest. He hates clowns. That's something that we learned.
Ranking people in wheelchairs, Levi number 1,
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking number 2.
Oh, we can do our final can be like a tier list where we rate each arc, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd
yeah.
be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we've done it before, but now we're
But
reading
now in front of people.
now being way better people than we are reading the manga, knowing the
exactly.
ending.
There you go.
All right. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And check out the YouTube channel. We'll
Yep.
be posting this episode along with special Shonen Junk,
Mhm.
as we're calling those episodes, special editions, as you like to call them.
Mhm.
Extra stuff, good stuff that you
Do,
like.
do you like the logo that I made for it?
I love it.
It's
Ben, you
Bakugo.
should check out the thumbnails that Ben also makes for the episode. Like the
Yes.
first one is like the logo of our channel and
course.
in our podcast, but like the thumbnails that he puts for like the following episodes are like absolutely hilarious. I kind of can't wait for what this episode is going to be about.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll wait and see, and I can't wait for that. So check us out on YouTube, guys,
Yeah.
and on Spotify, podcast, Apple Podcast app, and anywhere you can find,
Yep.
well, anywhere that we have that we're linked to. So check us out on there, and we'll see you up on the next episode.
Peace, guys.
Bye.